Hey guys, this is Dr. Taylor, and I just want to say hello and thank you for joining me on this quick little introduction to the data prepping workshop. So I want to make this quick and I just want to jump in really quickly. So I'm going to share my screen with a presentation that I have made for you. And this is just going to introduce the data prepping workshop because it is a series of tutorials to help you learn how to prepare your data for analysis. And it's a really key part. So what is data prepping and why does it matter? Well, why do we prep data? One of the reasons is that Qualtrics is really a data collection tool. And now it does do some reporting, so you can do some quick and dirty reporting, but it is primarily a data collection tool versus SPSS, which is a data analysis tool. So it allows us to do some things with the data that we can't do with the data collection tool, because with SPSS we can manipulate the data, we can transform it so that it's more meaningful, we can do quite a few things that we couldn't in Qualtrics. So one of the reasons is because of the limitations of the tool. The second and primary reason is because data collected is dirty. There's errors. Qualtrics adds unnecessary variables into the analysis. SPSS and other data collection tools, whether it be SurveyMonkey or Typeform or the other survey tools, they sometimes code the scales incorrectly. So when you go to analyze it, the coding diminishes the meaning from the data. And then the third part is that the data isn't always insightful in its current form. So for example, we want people to answer the question about age, but we had to change it to what year were you born because it's more socially desirable of a question to answer versus how old are you. There's some social stigma associated with people wanting to answer that question. So we asked, what year were you born? That increases our response rate. But then when we go to analyze it, it's a ratio data and we give a mean of, the mean is, 1982.2. That doesn't really mean anything. It says the majority, the average person was born in 1982, but it doesn't really mean anything. So we can take that number, we can transform it by subtracting 2020 from it, and then we can get their actual age, and then we can create a new variable, and then we could even change that into an interval data where we collapse it into different categories. Maybe we want to look at it from generations, millennials, Gen Xers, boomers. We can take that age variable and then transform it. So the data isn't always insightful, but we can transform it so that it becomes more insightful and has a stronger meaning. The third reason why we prep data is that accurate data analysis needs quality data. It needs to be error-free, and some of those errors are caused by the survey design. Some errors are caused by the data collection tool, such as the scale coding and some other problems that I'll show you. And the third part is some errors are caused by the respondent. So we have to go through and get rid of all of those errors before we start reporting on the data. Again, going back to the correctly coded data, we want to make sure that it's coded appropriately for us and for the analysis that we want to do. And then we also want to make sure it's useful. Is it meaningful? So we have to prep the data in order to do that. So what is data prepping? Well, data prepping occurs in 3 phases. It starts when you transfer the data from the data collection tool over to your data analysis tool. So that's step 1. And then you moved into the cleaning data phase. And this is where you go through and you're looking at your data case by case and variable by variable, looking for any errors in the cases, trying to determine, do we keep this particular respondent? Did they accurately answer the information? So for example, what I mean by that is maybe you've taken a survey before where you've just checked and you just kind of randomly checked the middle answer all the way down. Well, we want to look for errors in the data like that, and then we want to remove those cases because it's not accurate data and it actually skews our analysis. So we want to clean the data by removing things like that, removing errors, making sure that our scales work properly. We're looking for trying to fix any design errors, correct any errors with consumer that the consumers or the respondents might have made, as well as any errors from the data collection tool. And then the third phase is transforming the data. So in order to make data more meaningful, we often have to recode it or change it. So some of the errors we find with our data collection tools are that it gives us odd coding. And so we just want to recode those variables so that they're in a form that is more meaningful to us. So for example, SPSS has a tendency to code interval or Likert scales starting at 42. So it's 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47 for a 5-point scale. If we were to report on that and report that we have a mean of 43.5, well, if we're giving that in a report, people are going to be like, what does that mean? It seems really high, right? So we got to take that back down and put it on a 1 to 5 scale so that it says on a scale of 1 to 5, we found that 3.2, we had a mean of 3.2. So that kind of tells the story a little bit better. So transforming that data, and also transforming the data is creating new variables that are more meaningful, such as the age variable that I was talking about earlier. So what are you going to learn in the data prepping workshop tutorials? And again, this is a series of 5 different videos. The first one is the transferring data tutorial, and you're going to learn how to transfer data from Qualtrics to SPSS then. So it should be, that's a relatively quick one. It'll walk you through the simple steps on how you do that. The second tutorial is a cleaning the data tutorial. And this is a bit longer, but this is the 10-step process that we use as researchers to clean the data for analysis. The third set of tutorials, so the first 2 were 1 tutorial each. Data transformation tutorials, I broke it into 3 different tutorials, very specific to each function. So you're going to learn how to transform variables for analysis, and this is going to happen. There's 1 tutorial on recoding variables into the same variable, recoding variables into new variables, and creating new variables. And so those might sound similar, but they're actually 3 very different ways of transforming the data, and they perform different functions. So it's important for you to learn how to do those. So that's what you're going to learn in the data prepping workshop tutorials. Before you get started on this, you're going to have to make sure that you have access to SPSS. I'm going to put myself down here in the middle now. So make sure you have access to SPSS. This is in the computer labs, but of course, we know that right now we're having issues with the coronavirus, and let's be honest, most of us are afraid to go outside at this point. So I don't expect you to go to the computer labs. However, if you don't have a computer, you might have to. That being said, if you don't have a computer, please contact the financial aid office as soon as possible, because because of the coronavirus, because we understand that you didn't sign up for an online class, they are making funding available for computers. So contact the financial aid office, and you might find that you have some resources to be able to buy a home computer. Now, that's only if you don't already have a computer. So, and I do believe it's some sort of, it might be a grant, but it also could be a loan. So just give them a call to see what they can do to help. So the option that I would prefer for you to use is to download SPSS to your home computer, and this is free. Usually it's not. Usually my students have to pay $35 for it, but because of the coronavirus and ODELT, they have done an amazing job helping us get the resources that we need during this crisis. They've been able to get it for you all for free. So I have a post on Blackboard with the instructions on downloading it. Please go to the announcements and find that post and download SPSS so that you can get started. All right, other than that, that is the end of this tutorial on what is data prepping and why does it matter. Let me know if you have any questions as you go through this and as you get started, but good luck to you all. I'm excited to see how you get through this. I think you all are going to do great, and have a great day. Bye.